we got to stain our decking, and then we need to start putting our decking on. Okay, so we got our first cutout here for the post. So this will go around the post right up to this line here. So this is our cutout. How we did that was we just went 1.5 inch distance because this is 1.5 inch, this treated stuff. So we'll go 1.5 inch. That brings us to this line here. That's where our post will be up against, just like here. So that brings us to this line here, and then you go over the 3.5 inches. That's the distance of the post because it's a 4x4. So it's true numbers at 3.5, and then from that distance you mark how far in your board needs to go. So my board needs to go, I believe it was 1 3/4 inches, and so draw that line, connect all the dots, and there you go. You got your cutout. And so we're gonna get this cut out right now. Okay, so we got that one cut out and put in, going all the way down. Gotta be careful. But we just got this one cut out, so we need to screw it in. So it's perfect around the post. And then we're gonna stain the rest of the boards after we have everything put on. We'll stain the top side, but the bottom sides are all stained. That's a good fit. Okay, so we've got about, yeah, you can. We got about halfway to the second post here, a little over half, and we've got it stained. It's been a longer process. I was a little bit sick yesterday. All right, it's been hot and I have not been motivated, but today we're gonna try and bust a lot of this out. Over the past couple days, I've had a really sore throat, and so I haven't been videotaping what I've been doing because I haven't been wanting to talk. So today I'm feeling much better, and but we got a little bit done, and we're just going to continue putting on the decking. Okay, so I'll show you what I did back here. I had to cut this here about it's a quarter shorter than that side over there. So from from house to outside of deck, the joists are a quarter longer over there than they are here. Well, that was threw everything off. And obviously, spacing wise, it's not always going to be exact, even though that keeps it at a 1/4 inch. There's spots where it just doesn't work, or where your board lines up just barely on the joist, and it doesn't line up in the very center. It just lines up barely. So then you can't use the spacer. You gotta send a screw through, kind of crooked, in, and it's still all to the eye. It looks good and everything, but I want to make sure when I get to my post, I'm evenly gapped, to where that post and this post, the board's lining up perfect. So I did 1/4 inch over there, because that distance longer. So I did 1/4 inch gap over there on just one of the boards. And then as I came this way, the gap got smaller and smaller to where the very end, there was no gap. If you follow it, there's a little bit of a gap, and it gets a little bit bigger all the way to a 1/4, like all the rest of the boards. So just here, no gap on that board. All the rest, 1/4 inch gap. And then we went back to normal, 1/4 inch gap here. So that should have fixed the spacing to where when we get to our post, it's going to align evenly with that post down there. And then when we get to the end of the deck, everything should have corrected itself. So glad we caught that and fixed that now. Okay, we made it to the post, and luckily our boards fit perfectly up against, with a 1/4 inch gap, and then a little bit smaller than a 1/4 inch gap against the post, but we can correct that on the other side. It's lining up pretty good, so I don't want to tweak anything. And so our next board is literally going to line up. I didn't plan it this way, but I guess mathematically it makes sense. But it's going to line up with the post perfectly. 3.5 inch board, 3.5, truly 3.5 inch thick post that I've got to make no cuts around the posts whatsoever, other than a small 1.5 inch piece to go behind the post, and then that's it. So to show you what I'm talking about, we got around the second post here, and it lined up perfectly, with our spacing lined up perfectly to where this board, 3.5 inches, 4x4, but it's truly 3.5 inches. So it lines up perfectly. And then we just put a small 1.5 inch piece on the outside here, and then this next piece. So it worked out perfectly. Okay, skipping ahead, we've got that much done and put on. I'm not videotaping everything because you would just be watching me put on 100+ boards over and over and over and over again. That would get boring. So skip ahead here. We're at the edge of the deck before the extension, and we need to get the boards notched out for the posts. So that's our first post there. And then we need to do one more for this board, and then we can start our next board. Our next board will be a long piece. So we'll get this post and that very far post. And then we'll need another little board for the last two. So let's get that done right now. Okay, so we are at 49 1/4, gets us right there to the edge of our post. And then 3 1/2 over is going to be 52 3/4, gets us right to the edge of the post. So 49 1/4 and 52 3/4. So we'll mark our 49 1/4 and our 52 3/4. Two marks, so then we want to draw our lines. We're going down to 2. Double check it. That was what the last post was at. So then from here, it's going to be with that 1/4 inch gap. It's going to be 2 inches. So with that being 2 inches, put our 2 here, bring it down to 2 inches. Down to 2 inches, 2 inches, and then I just put this down and connect the lines. That. And that is our second notch out. Hopefully you guys can see the lines, but you get the picture. Okay, oh wait, no. 35. Alright, this is right there. 1/4. It's right there. So we'll go down. Actually, yeah, we need to go down 2 inches. So that's what it looks like going down the line. Very nice, very nice. And it's a little scuffed up, the stain, but I'm gonna restain. I'm gonna stain everything a second time, so it won't look like that. It'll look clean. Moment of truth. Ah, that fit in there perfect. It goes all the way down, big longboard. It's a 16 footer. So it goes all the way down there, comes all the way. So that worked out nice. Goes. All right, we just finished for the day. It is dark out and we got a lot done, but I'll see you guys tomorrow where we will hopefully finish just the extension here. See you guys tomorrow. And that is all decking complete. It took us a little bit to figure out the end. Somehow my math did not add up how I thought it would, which is surprising because I went over it over and over again. It should have fit perfectly. Somehow it didn't. I think maybe my spacing was a little bit off on some of them. So the end piece there, spacing's a little bit off. I kind of counterbalanced it. I took out a whole bunch of boards, probably like 10 of them, took them all out and respaced all of them to get me to the end there. But it is done now. That is decking complete. So that's framing done, decking done, and next we need to get the railing done. So obviously we already got our posts up, but railing is next, so stay tuned for that. Stain in all those screw holes as well. So I'm gonna restain everything, give it one more coat, and you guys will see the finished product in the video where we start our railing. Like, share, and subscribe, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one.